Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how my trip to the Dominican Republic was one of my all-time favorite trips to I've ever gone to. So I went to the Dominican Republic with my dad. It was for a mission trip. I had no idea what a mission trip was at the time until my dad, explained to me what exactly we were going to do for the 10 days that we were going to be there. And that just made me even want to go so much more. Basically, I'm going to talk to you guys about exactly what we did on this trip and talk a little bit about what we did on the last 2 days of the trip. So basically, day one, obviously, we got to where we needed to be. We got to the hotel and settled in, and we took this bus back to this church that we would do morning devotionals, Sunday services in the morning, and that's where we would kind of regroup and discuss, reflect about what we saw each day. So we had everybody from all over come on this trip. We had people from Mexico, we had people from Brazil, people from Germany, and of course, including people from the United States. Like, we had people from Florida, North Carolina, California, Arizona, Nevada, and a whole bunch of other places. And it was just awesome getting to meet everybody from everywhere. And so, we all made groups and made sure that each group had a translator because, of course, in the Dominican Republic, the majority of the people spoke Spanish, and including myself, I was one of the translators, and I had to make sure that everybody had one. So that was day one. And from there on out, basically, our day-to-day schedule was waking up at 6 in the morning and getting ready, going down to the breakfast area in the hotel, have some breakfast, and getting on the buses by 7:30 to go back to that church where we were day one, and have a little devotional time and some prayer time. And then by 8:30 we would go out into the communities, and they weren't just like any typical communities. They were very, very poor communities, and every day wasn't it wasn't the same community. Every day was a different location, and I felt like every day was just worse and worse to see just because of the living situations. So basically, when we would go out to the communities, we would talk to anybody and everybody that were willing to listen, about sharing the gospel with them. It didn't matter what age. Like, we talked to people that were kids, young adults, older adults, seniors, everybody really. And we would, just share the gospel with them and pray with them. And even before, we went to the grocery stores and we bought essential stuffs like hand soap, shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrush, you know, basic essential hygiene stuff that they couldn't afford or didn't have. And we would go back out to those communities and we would donate those supplies to them. And it was great seeing the joy in their faces, how very grateful they were that we did that for them. And after we were done sharing the gospel with them and praying for them, each day we had a set time and location. So whatever community we were in, we would tell them that, hey, today we're going to be at this location at this time. If you want to come, you are more than welcome. And that event consisted of, us playing games, having different activities. Like, we did skits a lot of the times, and the activities were just games like soccer, kickball, baseball, any games that we thought that would be very fun for everybody. And by the end of the event, we had, a pastor come and preach, share a little bit of the gospel with them again. And, we had a lot of people, not just from the communities, but people from outside of those communities join in the event too. So that just made it so much better. So that was basically our day-to-day schedule. In the middle of the day, we would take a little break and come back and regroup at that church and basically reflect on what we saw. And it just made us realize how very fortunate we are to have the things that we have by just seeing the things that these people are living in. And it's very sad to see. And of course, a couple of days got very emotional because the stories that we heard, or just, in general, the things that we saw. But it was all around an amazing trip. And the last 2 days it was just basically a free for all, and we were able to do whatever we want. So my dad and I took advantage of going to the beaches and just exploring, outside of the communities that we visited. The Dominican Republic is absolutely beautiful. I will never forget this one frozen yogurt place. It was called Tutti Frutti, and I loved it. They have the most amazing fruit. Like, it was so fresh. I loved it. And I hope that one day you guys get to, even if you decide to travel somewhere, I highly recommend going to the Dominican Republic. It's so beautiful.